Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Noxious map generator on Viewer Wednesday. So shout out to the person who sent me this replay. Their name is down in the description. We'll start with Team 1 on the northwestern side of the map, and we'll end with Team 2 on the southeastern side of the map. Take a look at Team 1. Let's go southern player first. We have in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Aurelia Lightpaw. He is a Cybran. He is a 1600. He is tied for the highest rated player on his team and also tied with Team 2's players as well for highest rated player overall. To his north, we have in Amethyst Purple, it is Monstratus playing as a Cybran as well. He is a 1000 rated. To his north in Ruby Red, most likely with the regular slot, we have Tessa Max playing as a UEF. He is a 1600, tied with Aurelia on Team 1 and tied with two other players on Team 2 for highest rated player overall. To his east in Stitch Blue, we have the Cybran of Rick. He is a Cybran. He is a 1300. To his south in Glow in the Dark Green, we have the UEF of Sir Lagalot. It's like Sir Lancelot, but it's Lagalot. He is a UEF. He is a 1300. And to his northeast, we have in Chevy Crimson, it is Black Phoenix playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1300. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 UEF, 3 Cybrans, 0 Aeon, and 1 Seraphim. Taking a look at Team 2's northern player first. And then moving on clockwise, we have in Royal Blue in the water right now, it is Master of Seasons. He is a UEF. He is a 1600, tied with one teammate on Team 2 and tied with Tessa Max and Aurelia for highest rated player overall. To his south, we have in Regal Purple, it is Spectrum Samurai. He is a 1000 rated, playing as a Cybran. To his southeast, we have in Batman Gray, it is Sandman. He's playing as the one and only Aeon of the match. He is an 1100. In Pac-Man Yellow to his south, we have Twitchy Muffa playing as a UEF. He is a 1600, tied with Team 2's Master of Seasons for highest rated player on his team, and Team 1's Aurelia and Tessa Max for the highest rated player overall. So 4 1600s in this game. To his west, we have in Barbie Pink, they're drawing something down there. We have as a Cybran, it is Amaterasu. I think I said his name right. He is an 1100, again playing as a Cybran. And his next door neighbor is Lightish Red Pink, Seraphim player of Rekather. He is a 1500. So for Team 2 side of the map, in terms of faction makeup, they have 2 UEF, 2 Cybrans, 1 Aeon, again the one and only Aeon of the game, and 1 Seraphim, which means the difference between Team 2 and Team 1 is that 1 Aeon. So Team 2 traded a Cybran for an Aeon. And for these 12 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 41, we'll say 42,000 mass and reclaim. That is a lot of mass to go around for 12 players. It's about 3.5k mass per player. It's very worth it to scour around the map, and for the most part, the reclaim is in the middle of the map. You draw a line right down the middle. If I actually will stop holding my shortcut there, that's where most of the reclaim is, just along that line. Yeah, there's a little bit of reclaim here and here, and there's a little bit here and a little bit here, but it's pretty much for the most part just right down that line. Lots and lots of reclaim, which does explain why players are just full sending it to the middle of the map. Taking a look at where players have gone actually in the map. We have 2 players for Team 2 and Team 1 moving to the middle of the map. They are spreading out quite nicely, so it'll be 1v1 and 1v1 there. Towards the more upper side of the map, we have a 1v1 happening here. And then we have another 1v1 here in the northeast. I will note that we do see Team 2's Sandman heading northward, a smidgen, not very far. So maybe he'll go this way or go this way, but there's another player floating around for Team 2. And for Team 1, well, we see some movement from Tessa Max. Looks like he's going to the middle of the map here. Almost like there's like a person here. You kind of have the legs down here and some face up here and the body's in the middle or whatever. We do see Team 1's Rick hasn't really made much progress eastward, but he could go south. He could go directly east. So there's at least one floater for Team 1 up here, and there's one player heading directly to the middle of the map where he has already dropped off his forces, scooping up that reclaim, getting some railguns for defending against any sort of bombers. It does wipe out a couple of engineers. They don't finish the AA gun, but there are some engineers and a facility, so no real biggie there. Team 2, the only player who's not made any movement is going to be regarded as that player of Twitchy Mofo, and he will probably soon go for his air facility as we speak. Given the fact that everybody on Team 2 is part of the FC group, they are most likely on comm, so I don't expect that much conversation in chat. Some conversation, but not a whole lot. We do see Stealth that started for Team 1's Rick to the north, and wasn't there a second player that started Stealth? Oh, because Sano Man is observing the match. He's also going to get those notifications. So, Sandman is in the game, but Sano Man is watching from a similar vantage point as myself. We do see guns started for Team 2 on the eastern side for Spectrum Samurai. And in the southwest, a little bit pushing in from Team 2. We do see some units dropped off from Twitch Muffo, some engineers, also assisted by his teammate of Record to scoop up all of that reclaim. Reclaim is going to be very important for the mid-ish game because you're going to get all of those T2 mexes, T2 land facilities online sooner rather than later. No combi-com action has occurred as of yet at 6 minutes, but I do presume it's going to happen here in the northeast first. Those comms are pretty much. Oh, actually, no. You know what? They probably have already shot at one another, to be fair, because both of them have damage. There's a couple of units, but not a whole lot, which would explain Black Phoenix being a little bit more further down in terms of the percentage. So, combi-com action has already occurred. I didn't catalog it. Apologies, because I was off doing other things. But looks like it's officially, at least recorded by the caster himself, between Team 1's Black Phoenix and Team 2's Master of Seasons. We have some THAMs inbound. We have more engineers being dropped off for reclaim. Team 2 might actually grab this hold in the northeast. And it looks like some units now starting to blap away Master of Seasons hit points. That's not helpful. These units nearby from Team 2's Master of Seasons not really doing anything. Oh, okay. They say, hey, we need to engage. Black Phoenix is teetering the line between yellow and green in terms of 75% above and below. We do see Stealth now started on Spectrum. Samurai already half done with that upgrade. He's really spamming up his upgrades. He might go straight for Nano at this rate, given how fast he's producing both of those upgrades, both gun and stealth. We do see Team 2's Sandman is getting closer and closer to that front line, and no, he doesn't go for Nano immediately. It's a little disappointing, but that's okay. He probably will go for Nano sooner rather than later. At least you would presume that. We do see Team 1 starting to make some plays on that southwestern corner. Just a couple of units running around. Nothing too crazy for Team 2 to deal with. We do see Rekather also has gun online, starting to push against his Mirror of Aurelia. We do see Team 2's Amaterasu heading more up into the, I don't know, leg section of the map. That's all I'm going to see is there's a face up here, there's a body down here, there's legs down here. That's all I can see now that I made that comment. We do see gun is now started for the other pink player of Team 2 for Amaterasu. Gun started for Aurelia further back. We do see shots. I think they did hit Testamax. No, actually, they haven't hit Testamax yet, but Spectrum Samurai will claim this kind of, lower midsection of the map for Team 2. We do see Team 2's comm of Master Seasons has taken a decent amount of damage. He's been forced to fall back. He did grab a chunk of the eco that was there initially, but there's, of course, more dead units there, so he trades one reclaim field for another. Probably a little bit better in terms of numbers, though. Oh, yeah, most definitely. It was probably 3. It was definitely a red number, so it was definitely about 3 or so K, but it was about 1 or so up there. I didn't talk about extra mexes on the map. We do see that on Team 2 side of the map. We'll use them as an example. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 quad mex positions on the front line. There's also a quad mex position back here. And, of course, the customary one-off mex is dotted between the main players' bases. So, nothing too crazy, but there is some desire for those expansions. There's a couple of mexes that will obviously be held by one player or one team at least. They're close enough together. You could call that a quad mex. Not really, though. We see T2 started for Team 2's Master of Seasons to get some hit points back. Aurelia gun was finished. Recruiter is continuing to push. I will just slightly move over here. We have 2 gun upgrades started for Team 1. We have Lagalot and Tesla Max hanging out right next to one another. One might help the other finish. Kind of one of those, hey, once you finish yours, can you help me out with mine kind of thing. Gun started for Black Phoenix in Northeast. We'll give him a little bit of offensive advantage against his opponent of Master of Seasons. Aurelia is being forced back, but both of them are in the yellow. Hornets' forces are starting to die out for Team 2. It's not looking great, and he is not super far forward, but if you take a look at his positioning, he's now kicked Team 1 out of the quad mech position. That's a big grab. That's at least 8 mass a second at this point. Of course, working on T2 mexes means it'll get up to about 24. We do see a couple of units from Team 1's Monstratus moving into assist. Monstratus actually has fallen back to his main base. I thought he was over here, but I guess not. He does have T2 land online, so does his teammate of Aurelia. We do see T3, not yet, but it has been started for Team 1 at 10.5 minutes. Team 2, do you anywhere near T3 air? Oh, we see a secondary air player for Team 2 in the form of Sandman. And T3 air has barely been started for Twitchy Mofo. Team 1, do we see any other T3 air? Nope, nope, and nope. So no T3 air online for anybody else, or even started for even T2 for Team 1. So a little bit of advantage for the Southeastern team for air, but there is a little bit more focus on land, so it could shift the balance of things depending on where those land units end up going. Team 2's Master of Season has reclaimed the northeastern corner, and that facility is slowly dying, but he might get there in time to rebuild it or continue building it. Who knows? Gun is, again, still progressing here for Black Phoenix. Rick has stealth, no gun online. That means that Master of Season and him will both fight at the same range, but one has more hit points than the other, given the T2 upgrade. Technically, if the T2 upgrade wasn't there, they would be at the same amount of total hit points, counting no veterancy. So there is that T2 PD starting to be built for him, it looks like. Well within range of Rick's comm. Does Team 2 see him? Oh, they see him. They know he's there. Once he moves out of visual range, he does have a... he should not see him anymore. Yeah, he doesn't see him anymore. And western side, Team 2 has fallen back again, but they again grabbed the quad mech position, said, nah, that's fine. And they're going for their own... nah, if it's a central upgrade... I mean, if it's like a main chess piece upgrade. But Team 1 in the northeast has lost Sir Lagalot to Team 2 Spectrum. Samurai Gun Nano versus, I think it was just Gun. That's the first kill for Team 2. And in the game, first blood for them, which means it is now a 6v5 in favor for Team 2 at 12 minutes. And yes, it was a Nano being built on Recruiter's Comm. Is going for the restoration. I always call it regen aura, but it's technically called Restoration Field. He's going to get that online. Oh, he does cancel it. Granted, there's a lot of T2 tanks inbound. That's definitely the right call. He would have had Nano. He would be slow to completing it, or pretty close to be completing it at this point, but with the gun upgrade, stealth assisting a little bit, of course, he does blap away those forces decently, but maybe he's like, well, maybe I could have stayed, but better to take the sure bet in getting a little bit further away than taking the risk and maybe not actually getting out of there and dying. We do see his other pink player, teammate of Amaterasu, kicking out Team 1 from their quad mech position here. So 2 quad mech positions have been denied. That is a decent amount of eco to lose. Team 2 barely in the lead, though. So Team 1 doing a pretty good job in the back line, getting their T2 mexes ringed. And then, of course, starting to work on the T3s as well. I will note that with the death of Sir Lagalot, Team 1's Tesla Max is now on double base at over 200 mass per second, which will just expedite the increase in T3 mexes on the map for him. T2 upgrade done for Black Phoenix in the north. We do see Master of Seasons still only has T2 online, so it's T2 and Gun versus T2. And we do see Rick is hanging out over here as well. He's building some T1 PD just to maybe shore up some defenses, maybe trying to skirt the land facilities. Lots of spam facilities going for T1 Thams. Are there some Zui mixed in there? I don't see that many. There should always be... Oh, there's some Zui in a Seraphim land army, just because why not? Gun upgrade finished, I think. Not super risky, but does finish now with both comms fighting at the same range. And in terms of hit points, Team 2 barely winning out. Both of them have 1-star veterancy. So if one of them does blow up, If they trade blows consistently, the other will blow up as well. We do see Spectrum Samurai continue to push on this lower midsection of the map right here, and it will be a little bit of a sore spot. Testamax will lose a couple of units and mexes, nothing too crazy. He'll probably shore up defenses here, and he'll probably build stuff here, but he'll probably just lose these couple of mexes, which isn't a terrible loss. It's only 2 mass per mex, so 4 mass a second for those T2 mexes. It's not bad. But obviously losing mass is never great, but it could be worse. It could always be worse. A nuke could come out of nowhere and blow up his base. Who knows? Crazy stuff happens in FAF. Team 2's Master of Seasons still, it's 2v1. Again, it's no gun, but it's still 2v1 in terms of damage. So even if Team 1's Commander of Rick isn't firing either twice as fast or doing double the damage, he's still doing damage if he's in range. Master of Seasons at 2-star vet. Black Phoenix also at 2-star vet. So still staying a little bit ahead for Team 2, but again, not by much. We do see a couple of PD that he can fall back to. I do love this. He does have a fallback point. Actually, he kind of has like a fallback kind of retreat vector, not necessarily a fallback point. But it's still nice to have one way or the other, regardless if it's a fire base, if it's just a line of PD. It's something that maybe it's just say, hey, you shouldn't be chasing me because there's going to be stuff shooting at you. We do see rapid. Ooh, that's a pretty early rapid restoration field start for Team 2's Rekather. That's going to be nice for him. Going to be keeping his units near him online even longer and make them just even more annoying to deal with for Team 1. We do see Aurelius now taking shots from the east, and now we kind of have a focal point for the most part for Team 2's pink players. They're kind of, one's going the way that you would think he's going. The other one isn't pushing really this way. He could, but he doesn't want to get caught unawares and be cornered and get wiped out by Aurelia. So he's pushing against Aurelia, forcing him back to his main base. And then at that point, then he can kind of maybe break off a little bit easier and a little bit more safer. But it's not terrible for Team 1 in the southwest-ish, but it's not great. Team 2, it's kind of more dead even. Let's take a look at what's going on in the backgrounds for Team 1 and Team 2. We do have air expansion efforts here for Team 2. Switch move. We actually moved. I thought he was going to build it here. I guess that it's right next to the land facility. It doesn't make sense. He has a lot of room to move around. You could put some shields to cover a couple of T3 mexes, and of course put T3 mexes here and shield those as well. So nice groupings there. We have his northern teammate of Sandman going for a little bit less expansion efforts in air grid, but he is going for a secondary facility here now, probably just focusing a little bit more on eco. And then in the north, we have tactical missile started for Master of Seasons and gun spinning range started for Team 1's Rick. We do have T3 land online for him. Still only one air facility for Team 1 in terms of T3. He is building a secondary air headquarters. There's probably built by Lag a lot, but he is building some Janus. I don't see them used that much for UEF. And they operate very similar to the Scorcher. Just put a bunch of fire on the ground and then stuff walks through it and stuff gets just burned to scrap or death, one or the other. T2, no T3 land yet for Team 1's Black Phoenix, T3 land, and T3 land. So it looks like most players are at the T3 land stage for Team 1, Team 2, T3, almost T3, T3, and T3. So everybody else who is in land for Team 2 is also pretty much at that T3 stage as well at almost 17.5 minutes. Nano repair coming online for Rec. Definitely a smart call, especially with Team 2 starting to bombard the frontline facilities. Is that a pistol? Yes, it is. And it wipes out that mex. There's another mex down of the quad mexes for Team 1. Do they have TMD online? No, it's going to hit the shield. Unfortunately, TMD is being built now, which means that mex will not make it. Oh, did he see the comm? He did. There's the missile strike. And he will grab some of the engineers and the comm with it. So he slows down the upgrade. Oh, don't tell me he's going to get sniped by that missile. Is there another one inbound? Oh, it doesn't go for him again. Okay, well, where's it? Oh, it's going further back, going for this mech back here. That's another 6 mass a second Team 1's missing out on. Oh, another. Oh, it's going to be. Oh, I thought it was. He keeps getting me excited. I thought he's going to go after the comm, but watch. I'm going to fly away for a couple seconds. Watch this engagement down here in the southwest, and then kaboom's going to happen in the corner, and then he's going to die. All the time. Happens all the time, and it's frustrating. Regather, 2-star vet, gun, nano, and advanced regen or advanced restoration field, rapid restoration field, whatever you want to call it. Thingy. It's the thing that makes things regen better near him. There's a lot of firepower for Team 1 here. Ooh, but that's a lot of bombers. Ooh, and Aurelia's like, yeah, I need to fall. Oh, there's some sniper bots in as well. Ooh, Aurelia, you got to get out of there. You got to get out of range. Those bombers are inbound. They're inbound for a second pass. There is no getting out of there. That is, oh, nope, there he goes. And Team 1 loses Aurelia Light Pod to Team 2's bombers from Record. We do see T3 gunships inbound from Team 1 for a nice little revenge. Ooh, nice. Nice counter kill by Tesla Max. They were inbound. They were there, even if they were there 20 seconds before, I think the bombers may have been able still to kill Team 1's Aurelia just because they would have been still given their orders. But looks like the base will be handed off to, I would presume, Amaterasu because he's down here, but so far it's going to Master of Seasons. And Team 1 now starting to raid a little bit more with those gunships. 1 survived. I guess the air engagement. Team 2 does wipe out the remaining gunships. So there's that. But they did serve their mission in killing off Team 2's record there. I don't know if the units on the ground actually would have been enough. There was a brick and a couple of rhinos still there, but it didn't seem like much hit points remaining for Regatha before he died. So maybe they weren't needed, but they confirmed the kill. It's not kill steal, it's kill secure. You know, kills, assists, that's all that sort of stuff. Doesn't really matter in a game like this, like it does for other ones. They're not transferring it over to Amaterasu yet, but maybe. And now it is a 4v5. Still in favor for Team 2. It was tied briefly between the teams, but with 3 players dead at 20 minutes, trend line in players being left alive doesn't look pretty hot. We do see forces inbound from Amaterasu, of course, using the craziness of the double kill, or the murder-suicide pretty much. Almost. Not exactly, but almost. But there's a brick here, Loyalist or 2. Not going to be a whole lot of work. Rhino's trying to assist. We have PD inbound, more bricks inbound. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Nope. We do see Team 1's Monstratus will be able to now have a double base, just like his teammate of Tesla Max. Still being controlled by Master of Seasons. I feel like that's a little bit... I mean, yeah, it's nice to have a second base. Everybody likes having more mass, of course, but I feel like there's a player right there who could just take it over versus you're over here doing stuff. You're with the comm over here doing stuff. Then you're over here doing stuff. And then over. It's just a lot of running around the map, and that's lost APM for Team 2. So it's a lot easier to micro base that's, what, a kilometer away, however big these maps look like. I always say meters or think about like them in, to small measurements, but there really actually is, they're big. They're just big because we think they're small because we zoom out and this is how big the map looks like, but technically the map is big in terms of actual how tall stuff is and whatnot. We do see a Monkey Lord online for Team 1. Was that? No, it was not built by Tesla. He was just walking by. That was built by Rick. He's going for more P-gens now. Maybe air facility? No, he's going for art. Ooh, that's really early. Artillery has already been thought about for Team 1 at 21 minutes. Very early. I like it because he already has a plan in mind. He's going to go for it, but maybe a little bit too early? Maybe not. I don't know. This map might be big enough to go for a full map, but I don't know. I don't think that it's not even started to be built yet. I can't even hover over it. But it might be barely out of range of the base in the southeast for Twitchy Mofo. We do see in the northeast, though, Team 1 still holding strong, but not really. Oh, there's a lot of forces running around for Team 2 over here. I feel like they could just go this way and then that way. There are some bombers hanging out, but I feel like they could... Yep, maybe he's just going to go that. Yep, okay, never mind. He's just thought about it and somehow transmitted it through the ether, and he goes, that's a good idea. I should do that. And he does do that. Southwest... Another engagement. Team 1, do they have air control yet? I know there was a big air fight moments ago. 34 for Team 1. Team 2's Twitchy Mofo. 73. Okay, never mind. And he's even have some Corona mixed in there, so really it's actually more about 80. Looks like he's being donated over from Sandman. Is he focusing on gunships? Or is he just assisting in ASL production? Which isn't not a bad idea. because more ASFs means more air control. More air control means other things can go in the air, like donuts and bombers and bugs that I'm not a huge fan of, but they still serve purpose in this game. Rick finishes another experimental, most likely another microwave, which I do see the symbol on the minimap. And a couple days ago, I forget what day it was, that for some reason some of my mods weren't working. I couldn't tell you why. They were supposed to be on the list of active mods, and they worked right after I tested stuff. So I just, for whatever reason, that recording session was just plagued with some of them not working. No idea why. Couldn't tell you why. They should have been working. So no idea. Team 1 and Team 2 engage here in the crater that once was Sir Lagalot. And not really a whole lot happens. There's a lot of T2 units. Couple of rocket bots mixed in. Those are T2 units, to be fair, but really not a lot of punching power. Team 2 did have some Cerberus PD already set up, so it wasn't really a great engagement. Monkey Lord is inbound to defend the northeastern front, and the forces from Team 2, well, they went somewhere because they're no longer there. And it looks like they all got killed off. Looks like a gunship or two had some fun and wiped out all of that. So that attack went nowhere, unfortunately, but hey, lovely attempt nonetheless. Team 1 starting to really eliminate a lot of stuff in the southwestern section. We do see running along the edge for Team 1. That's not going to be great. Just slowly skirt the southern edge. Sandman done with an ARAS upgrade. So lots more mass for him. In terms of eco, though, Team 2 1.7 and Team 1 1.3. So while Team 1 is losing a lot of exterior stuff, they are getting a lot of their core mass and their auxiliary, not auxiliary, but their secondary mass extractors online to T3, single, maybe even double ringed. We do see a couple of Percys mixed in, and that Monkey Lord not going to have some fun time. And look, there are restores here. Hey, look at that. Team 1, Black Phoenix is going to send some forces in, and no, that's not really going to work. Shields are down, so if they could take out some shielding, that'd be nice, but no. The PD, the artillery, everything else nearby is going to say, no, we're done with that. No, goodbye. That's a little bit of a nice little wreck for Team 2 to scoop up. Pretty much inside the shielding. Essentially, it's just like on their front porch, just hanging out. Not on the lawn, not on the street, just on the front porch. Not inside, but pretty darn close. Another Monkey Lord online for Team 1. Need at least 2 land experimentals plus support to break through here, says Aurelia. Talking about, yeah, I mean, unless you have a lot of T3 units and then one megalith, you like hide like a brick wall behind it, or have the brick wall hide the the Monkey Lord. Second Monkey Lord gonna push through this vector. There's not a lot of stuff here for Team 2. There's some tickle cannons, there's some bricks, but there's really not as much stuff as there was up here. And again, facing off against Percys versus facing off against bricks is a whole other thing. Lots of Team 1 and T2 spam mixed in. We have some Percys backing them up, though. They're coming in to assist. That's going to help out a ton. Team 2 just needs to deploy gunships, I think. Is there some flak mixed in there? A little bit. Not a lot, but there is some. Monkey Lord's in the yellow. He's at 1-star vet. Should get to almost 2 with the destruction of everything nearby. Radar system is down. Don't know if that was from Team 1 or not. Gunships are inbound from Sandman. Again, not good at air to ground, but they will defend against some AA. They have AA on board. And looks like targeting, I would assume, the Cougars and everything else in terms of the AA department. ASF flying over top. Team 2. The remaining ASFs are inbound. Oh, that's not actually, he barely scathed out of there. He almost lost that whole squadron of gunships. A small squadron of ASS. Monkey will continue to chew through the front lines for Team 2's Spectrum Samurai. Southwestern side looks like a little bit of resurgence for Team 2 over there. And northeastern side, there are some forces being pulled back. This would be the perfect time for Team 1 to attack, but they just don't have a whole lot there, which is why Team 2 can afford to move forces. Monkey will continue to carve through whatever reinforcements are inbound, but it's only going to get so far. He is at 2-star vet now, but there we go. So Team 1 loses another experimental 1 there, which is being scooped up now, and 1 that will be scooped up here shortly. So 2 experimentals dead for Team 1 on Team 2 side of the map. That's a decent amount of mass that they can scoop up. Artillery, how's that going for Team 1? It's half done already, so there's that. There is an SMD somewhat nearby to protect it against any sort of nukes. It is loaded, so that's also good. Not only is it there, but it's also loaded. I would like to see a shield on it, but at least it's there. Oh, okay, they're building shield. Never mind. T3 area quarters next to the artillery piece. Probably not the best idea, but it does cut down on, power consumption, at least for the T3 area quarters. And, save some mass and energy for building more PGens. So there's always that. Another air fight happens between Team 2 and Team 1. Team 1 not looking great in terms of ASF count. It's just growing more and more for Team 2, especially with these skirmishes that constantly happen. We have Monkey Road v Monkey Road here shortly, but there's a lot more bricks here for Team 1 than there is for Team 2. Quad Max is going to go down, but technically that's... Oh, no, it's Team 2's. We have gunships over here to the north from Twitchy Mofo. Monkey Road opens up the laser. And... it's going to be laser v laser fight. More bricks are inbound. More gunships are inbound, so even if Team 1 wins the fight, it's honestly probably not going to matter. And actually, Team 2's Monkey Road might... Oh, it survives and it gets veterancy, so stays the line a little bit longer. Team 1 is focusing it down. They will kill it off, but the damage is already done. The two Monkey Lords are within Team 2's grasp. That's another set of reclaim for Team 2 to grab. That's a lot of reclaim. Team 2 sitting at 103,000 to Team 178, and Eco is at 2K to 1.6. There's another Monkey Lord taking shape in the northeast. It looks like they might attack this position once again. There are more units inbound moving into intercept. I don't know if they'll get there in time. They might get there as the base is attacked if the Monkey Lord continues to move, which it's going just full send it mode. Now there are some, mechs is worth protecting over here. Decent amount of PD. This one needs to continue to be built. There's one Cougar there for whatever reason. Percies are inbound, other forces, parashields are inbound, it looks like. So there's a lot of forces inbound. There are some land forces, some Authams now on the scene for Black Phoenix. But not great for Team 2's northeastern base, but nothing too bad. They probably will lose it, but on the southwestern front, there's a chicken, and there's another chicken. That's not great. And it is near Aurelia's old base, now belonging to Monstratus. And he does have an SMD. Love to see that. It is loaded, which we also love to see. Other than SMD, of course, is online and loaded. So lots of SMD protection for Team 1. There's the Monkey Lord. They're engaging. Those other forces arriving. Authams help clear the way. And I do think Team 2 is going to still win this fight, but Team 1 has eliminated a rough blockade for them. I just don't know if it's going to be worth it. Monkey Lord gets some veterancy there, killing up all of those Percies, of course. Percies, of course, doing 2, 3, 4, 5 shots into the same unit, even after it's dead. Not great, but they will eventually kill off this Monkey Lord. Monkey Lord will probably get close to 2-star vet. Close being the key word in that statement. But it was a valiant effort by the second Monkey Lord. The first one didn't really make a dent. The second one, it was like, nah, I'll take the base. Which, one mech survives, so there's that. Speaking of mechs surviving, not really great for the western front for Team 1. There is an avenue online to get to the air grid, and there are gunships inbound from Team 2's Twitchy Mofo. This core base is gone for Team 1. ASFs are inbound, they're colliding once again. They're going for the shielding, and pigeons are the targets. That's one pigeon down. That's two pigeons. Almost, I should call them pigeons from now on. That'd be fun. But no, I'll call them pigeons. Another one is down. Ooh, this is not great. Team 1's air grid, their main one at least, is not looking good. Second artillery already started for Team 1. This one isn't even done yet. I feel like just finished the project. And Monstratus Control K's doesn't give the credit for the kill. He's like, nope, not worth it. He's not even going to deal with it. He's like, nope, I was going to die anyways, but I won't give the kill. I guess in that case, you might still count that as a kill for Team 2, but I don't really know about that. Chicken running amok, and Tesla Max now new base, but that's not going to last much longer. He's lost his, or at least a huge portion of his air grid. Gunships are inbound for the T3 artillery emplacement. That was just newly minted. Oh, that's gonna not feel great for Team 1. He spent all that time, and it was done in about 31 minutes. And it looks like artillery pointed out by Amaterasu, probably talking about that. Pigeon is down. Another Pigeon is down. T3 mexes are being targeted. Gunship is down. All they got to do is wipe. Yep, there it is. There's the T3 artillery. Wipe out that one more T3 Pigeon, and there go those engineers. Oh, barely stays alive. Tesla Max says what happened in the air is what he said. So the T3 artillery is down, half the air grid is down, 2 of the frontline bases are down, and there's more land forces in. They can't get to the other side of that plateau this way. They have to go that way. But these 2 chickens can go, and that's not great. No T3 air recorders online. And now we have gunships invading the northeastern frontline base for Team 1's Black Phoenix. Yeah, there's a decent AA presence here. We have 2 of the comms here for Team 1 still here in the pond. The other ones are in the pond. I did 3 spiders, 2 artilleries, and no one make air, says Rick. And there is a FAF war online for Team 2. And gunships just ripping everything else apart on the ground. There's really not a lot of AA left, and after that, that's pretty much going to be the end of that front line. And Team 2 has crushed this side. It's crushed this side. There's the Control K here from, who is that, Tesla Max. And Team 1, they just lost Black Phoenix, and then goes the departure for Rick. And I did know this was going to be a shorter one. You probably knew that because of the timestamp, the total time length thing on the video. But I felt like this was a good one because A, it was given to me by somebody, and B, it just goes to show that sometimes you just gotta watch out, because one thing of momentum happens for one side of the map, and it just is dominoes falling one after the other after the other after the other. But Team 2 wins the game, and they took 1 casualty, being Rekather is the one that died. There was a satellite coming online. Second one was already coming online. There was a nuke online. It was already half loaded. Team 1 had a bunch of SMDs, though. Another air grid expansion here for Team 2. We did see air grid up here over here. Another air grid over there. And anything big and exciting else happening? Another nuke online for Team 2, and it was being heavily assisted by hives. Interesting they put it there and not closer to the shielding, but they probably could have built a megalith there, which is probably why they put that there. Which makes sense. I just would like to see these shielded at least, but to put a shield here and call it good. They would cover it anyway. And then western side looks like, because artillery, because why not? But Team 2 wins the game. Yes, it wasn't necessarily one-sided, but once this attack happened, it was mainly the land and the air kind of coming in all at once. Gunships came in, wiped out half the air grid, then they pivoted for the T3 artillery. You could make you can have some conversation about maybe if the T3 artillery was still fine, that there was maybe a chance. I didn't see the full ring. Actually, Team 2's artillery was done, so maybe that'll give us a rough estimate. Not done, but it was started, so I can click on it. Where is it? No, yeah, there it is. So that would have been the range. So yeah, it would have been very close. So either it would have maybe clipped maybe the water, so that small little southeastern corner wouldn't have been, because this one's further to the west, which makes it more in the middle of the map. The other one, of course, was further to the more south northwestern corner. I know my directions. So maybe, but it was being shielded as we speak. So maybe other things would have been targeted, but I think Team 2 would have been able to respond quickly enough. The game probably would have gone on for maybe another 5 or so minutes, because this line was collapsing at the same time. You had forces inbound this way. You still had the land invasion that was right near the front door of Tesla Max. So honestly, like I said, maybe 5 minutes would have been more than enough time for Team 2 to rip apart if the T3 artillery was fine. But sometimes it's just that one thing, and that's the game. But again, a little bit of a shorter match, but hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching to the very end of it. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel as always, and I will see all of you in the next one.